Hello, my name is Eric, and this is my second tutorial on using the Linux terminal. Like last time, I'm still using a Macintosh, but terminals are the same on all machines. Alright, so last time we looked at how we can navigate directories, how we can look at contents. With ls we can see which files are there. You're going to see that everything is color-coded because I've turned on this color coding of ls by default. And we know how to change directories, but I want to focus now on how to create things. So I'm going to make a new directory, and the way we can make a directory is with a command called mkdir. And I think of that as make directory. Now after the command we have to put a space in there, and it's going to be make directory and the name of the directory we want to create. So I'm going to create a directory called tutorial. This directory is really just for the video, and I'll delete it when I'm finished. When I hit enter, I can now hit ls, and we can see that now after temp, we now have a tutorial directory, which is fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted to do. We can use our cd to enter the tutorial. If we type ls, there's nothing in here. So I can make a couple directories in here for fun. I can do make directory, sample, make directory, another directory, ls-l, and we can see, oh, look at all these directories. So making directories is pretty easy. We just use the make directory command, or mkdir. If we want to remove a directory, there's a command for that, which is rmdir. I'm going to get rid of the another directory. If I don't want to type the whole name, remember I can hit tab, and it will just remove the entire directory. Because it's empty, it will remove it. If the directory has files or folders in it, it won't remove it. So if I wanted to make a directory inside of my sample directory, I can do make directory sample /new dir. Now if I type ls-l, we don't see the new directory because it's inside sample. And if I try to remove directory for sample, it won't go away because it's not empty. We can only remove directories if they're empty. At least using this command. There are other commands we can learn about later that will do all of that. Alright, so we've made directories. Now we want to be able to make a file. And the easiest way to do that is we can do something called a redirection of output. So when we type ls-l, it generates output and it displays it to the screen. But instead of displaying it to a screen, there's a way in Linux we can put that output somewhere else. So if I type ls-l, if I type the greater than symbol, which kind of looks like an arrow pointing to the right, I can type something like ls.txt. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a file called ls.txt, and it's going to put the contents from whatever command I had before the greater than into it. So if I hit enter, we don't see any output. And that's because instead of going to the screen, the output went into the file ls.txt. So if we want to see the contents of the file, we can go through and navigate our file browser and open it up. Or we can use a special command called cat. And if we do cat ls.txt, it's going to display the contents of the file. Now let's say instead of my current directory, I wanted to ls my parent directory. And remember, the parent directory is represented with 2 dots. And I'm going to redirect that output to ls.txt. When I hit enter, there's no output. And if I cat ls.txt, we can now see, and I'm going to have to scroll up because this is quite a bit of information, we can see all the information from my parent directory. But we can see that the information from my current directory is gone. And if I type ls-l, we see my ls.txt. And I want to have both my parent directory and, I just put my parent directory into the file. Now I want to add my current directory. So if I type ls-l, I can redirect it. And if I do the redirection symbol twice, if I do greater than ls.txt, it's going to append to the end. So now if I type cat ls.txt, we can see that we have at the very bottom here, the last 3 lines were added. These are the lines from ls.l. You know, we have the total 8 and then the 2 files in this directory. So that's the easiest way, I think, to make a file. We can edit it. The easiest way to edit, I think, in the terminal is using something called pico, P-I-C-O. And if we type pico followed by the name of the file we want to edit, it'll open the pico editor. And in pico, we can, move with our arrow keys. We can start typing. So now I am in pico. Yay. Right, we can edit. Maybe we want to put some spaces here. Perhaps we want to go all the way down to the bottom. Add some more lines in pico. All right, and when we're done editing, what I love about pico is at the very bottom we have an index to help us out. It helps us to remember the commands. You can see that Control-G will bring up some help menus. Control-O will write the file out. Control-R will read a file. And what we want to do right now is we're done. So we're going to hit Control-O. And now it's going to ask us what file we want to write. If we wanted to, we can change and write to a different file name. But I'm going to just keep it as ls.txt. Hit Enter. When we're finished, we can hit Control-X. And we've now changed the ls.txt. And we can verify this using cat ls.txt. And we can see that at the very bottom it says, hey, add some more lines in pico. And if we go up to the very top, so now I'm in pico, yay. We can see that we were able to make our changes. So pico is a way we can edit files. A nice thing about pico too is if you just type pico with nothing else, you'll make a new file. I'm going to write a quick C++ program. Pound include iostream. If you don't understand C++, that's fine. This is just a quick way to write a program. You can copy it down and follow along using namespace std. All right, so I quickly made a C++ program. It doesn't do much. It just prints to the screen, hey, this was a cool program written in pico. Maybe I'll add a little bit more. Now, I don't really use pico very much, so I don't know all the cool things to do. But I will just exit out. Nope, I don't want to exit out yet. Oop. I accidentally exited out. With pico, yeah, if you want to write something out, if you hit Control-O, I should have saved main.cpp, but I forgot to do that. So I'm going to have to rewrite my program real quick. So I'm just going to do pico main.cpp so I don't forget it quite as easily this time. Pound include iostream. Actually, using namespace std int main. All right, so I'm sorry. All right, so I quickly wrote up a program. Control-O, make sure I write it. Control-X, and you exit out. So yeah, when you're working in the terminal, it's easy to miss changes and things. So just be kind of careful about that. But now we can see I've written a quick C++ program. The other thing we can do is we can compile it on your computer. If you have a compiler called G++, you can use it. If you don't know if you have it, you can type G++ version. And if G++ is not installed, you'll get, you'll get like command not found. But because it, if it is installed, it'll tell you which version you have. So if you have G++ installed or a C++ compiler, you can compile the program main.cpp.o main. So G++, the name of the program, or the name of the file with a program, -o will tell you what to output as, and main is the name of the executable we're going to create. So this is actually going to compile and build this program for us. Now if we type ls-l, we can see, hey, now we have even more files. Now we're able to make a program. So in this tutorial today, we learned how to make files, we learned how to make folders, remove folders, and how to make programs. So that's pretty cool. If you want to like delete something, you can type rm and the name of the thing you want to delete. So I could rm main. Now the main program is gone. If I want to redo it, I can type g++ main.cpp-o main, recompile it. When I have the program, if I want to run it, the interesting thing about running an executable is you have to tell it where it's located. So the main program is in the same directory that I'm in now. So I have to do // to say, hey, in this directory, not another directory, this directory, run the program called main. And then we see the output, which is exactly what I told it to output. Yeah, so I think that's about it for today. We learned how to make a few things, and I think, yeah, we did quite a bit, hopefully in a pretty short period of time. So I hope it was useful. Thanks for your time.